The biggest names in sport gather at the Café Royal for the 4th Panasonic London Sports Personality of the Year Awards. Last year, Linford Christie took the top award, following in the footsteps of Fatima Whitbread and Lloyd Hannigan. George Graham, Steve Davis and Nick Faldo must be among the front-runners this time. There's also the LBC Team Trophy to be won, along with the Thames TV Special Merit Awards. Her Royal Highness, the Princess of Wales, is the special guest. Join her and us next Monday on ITV at 10:35.
The newspaper delivered in time-honored tradition. But imagine a newspaper that's constantly updated. 15,000 times a day. Covers topics like useful recipes, city news, the latest sports reports, and what's on at the theater. Altogether 1,600 pages of useful information. The ultimate newspaper, brought to you by Oracle.
Boots, we've got Christmas all wrapped up.
Don't believe it.
No, real draft Guinness in a can.
Look, Dad, look.
What?
Enjoy yourself from Kylie Minogue, including the smash hit Never Too Late, the fantastic album from Kylie Minogue, and out now the videos, Volume 2.
Writer. That's TV Times. This week, Dame Edna sounds off about herself, while her creator, Barry Humphries, explains her mega success. Ex-comedy partners Peter Cook and Dudley Moore are briefly reunited. Read what they think of each other now. Coronation Street favourite Sue Nichols talks about the three men in her life, and they talk about her. There's also full coverage of ITV and Channel 4 programmes in the new look TV Times, a bright spot in your week.
In the City programme tonight, as another equities operation closes, we ask, is the City set for more job cuts? We report on the safe havens for nervous investors. We examine the commercial property boom that's produced a glut. All this, plus the usual mix of news, views and analysis. Don't miss the City programme live after news at 10.
This is Thames Television. At 10:30, Thames News. Now it's 10 o'clock, and we go over to ITN for the latest national and international news.
trying to get talks tomorrow. 3 imprisoned soccer fans are freed. The police probably lied. Where South Africa's blacks won't need to protest anymore. Caring for the old, the government encourages private health. The Foreign Secretary sees the wall and says he's an optimist. Good evening. The National Health Service's Chief Executive agreed tonight to hold talks with the ambulance unions on their pay dispute. Mr. Duncan Nicol has offered to meet the unions at the Department of Health tomorrow afternoon, and it appears he is not setting any preconditions. Previously, he'd insisted there must be a full 999 service before talks could take place. Tonight's offer came after the unions said they'd step up their industrial action. They'd announced that from next Wednesday, ambulance crews throughout the country would answer only emergency calls. Tens of thousands of non-urgent patients would then face having their hospital trips cancelled unless they're in one of the priority groups in the TUC's Code of Conduct. They include children, expectant mothers, radiotherapy and kidney dialysis patients.
Union leaders arrived for their meeting today, apparently determined to step up their action. They ignored a last-minute appeal to resume talks and instead agreed to a complete ban on all but emergency work from next Wednesday. 9 out of 10 ambulance journeys are for non-emergencies, so thousands of outpatients would face having their appointments cancelled. In another dramatic development, controllers in London threatened to stop diverting 999 calls to the police. They maintain that suspended ambulance crews working unofficially in the capital have been providing a better service than the military. It's a serious embarrassment for the NHS managers who insist the army can cope, and may well have been the trigger for new talks now scheduled for tomorrow.
The professional opinion of London's ambulance controllers is that the situation in London cannot be allowed to go on any longer. The Army, despite their very best efforts, are not maintaining a safe accident and emergency service.
Today's moves were the latest escalation in the dispute, which began in July, when ambulance crews rejected a 6.5% pay offer. In September, they banned overtime and rest day working. Last month, police vans were brought